Hey everyone, welcome back. This is going to be a nice, short and sweet beginner level flow. So if you are new to the practice, or if you just want to refine some of the basics and some of the foundational poses, then this flow is for you. We're going to use 2 blocks and a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, that's okay. Just grab a pillow and meet me on your mat. We're going to start on all fours in tabletop position. So plant your palms underneath the shoulders, allow yourself to move around a little bit, paw the mat with your hands, really press your fingertips into the mat, start to warm up and open the wrists. And then untuck your toes, stack your hips directly over your knees. We're starting with a flat spine. Pull your belly up and in to reinforce the core. Bring the back of your right hand onto the mat. We're not applying any pressure here. We're just allowing the forearms to elongate. And plant your right palm down. Bring the back of your left hand to the mat. Make sure you're not dumping your weight into the shoulders. Keep pressing away with that right hand. Bring your left hand back down to the mat. And then step your hands a handprint or two further forward. Take a breath in, shift forward, draw your shoulders over your wrists. Hug your elbows in. Use your exhale to lower all the way down to your belly. Widen your feet, hug your elbows in. Take a breath in, peel the chest away from the mat, look forward. Exhale, release, bring your forehead to the mat. Inhale again, lift and peel your chest. Exhale, let it go all the way down. One more time, inhale. Hold this cobra pose here. Press the tops of your feet, your hip bones, your belly into the mat, strengthening those muscles that run along both sides of the spine. Take one more breath in, lengthen your neck. Exhale, release, tuck your toes, press back up to your tabletop position, hands and knees. Bring your knees back under the hips, shoulders over your wrists. Take a deep breath in, drop your belly. Look forward, cow pose. Exhale, round and hug everything in, cat pose. Inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Send your right leg back behind you. Keep your toes tucked on the mat. And then spin that back heel down. Open up your right arm to the sky, supported side plank. If this is a lot of pressure on that bottom wrist, then option to tent your fingertips or even make a fist. Think about stacking your shoulders and your hips one on top of another, creating one long line of energy between the hands. Take an inhale, reach your right fingertips a little higher. As you exhale, reach that arm underneath your left ribs. Imagine reaching through back behind you. Inhale, unravel, open up. Exhale, thread it under. Inhale again, lift up. Exhale to thread. Inhale, open back up into your supported side plank. Start to unweight that bottom hand, really root down through the back foot. On your breath in, the upper body rises. Sweep your left arm up and over for gate pose. This right hand can find your back leg, or maybe bring your hand to your hip for a little more support. Your gaze is wherever you need it to be. Maybe gaze under that left shoulder, looking up to the sky. Deep breath in, lengthen the left side body. Exhale, rainbow your arms up and over. Plant your palms, both knees come back down to the mat, tabletop. Extend your left leg back behind you. Start to rotate your back heel down. Use your bottom shin as a kickstand. Inhale, send your left arm up to the sky. Good. Check in with your bottom wrist. Make those adjustments, take another variation, tent the fingertips or make a fist if you're feeling a lot of pressure in that wrist. Inhale, reach through your fingertips 1 inch higher. Exhale, thread it underneath your right ribs, reach through. Inhale, unravel, reach up to the sky. Exhale, thread it through. One more time, inhale to open. Exhale to twist. Inhale, open up the arms wide, supported side plank. Start to unweight your bottom hand. Maybe start by tenting your fingertips, glue down your back foot to the earth. On an inhale, sweep your right arm up to the sky. Side stretch on this right side, gate pose. Left hand finds your back leg or your hip. One last breath in, lengthen the right side of the body, create space in the shoulder. Exhale, cartwheel your hands up and over, tabletop position, plant your palms, lower the knees. Take an inhale, tuck your toes. Exhale, pull your hips up and back, make an upside down V with the body, downward facing dog. Draw your heels down in the direction of the earth, pedal out through the feet, invite some free movement here first. And once you're ready, start to find stillness. Our feet are hip distance apart. Check in with the hands. They should still be shoulder distance apart. Spread your fingers wide. Distribute the weight through the wrists all the way into the fingertips. Can you lift your tailbone a little higher to the sky? Take a deep breath in. Fill your belly. Fill your lungs. And an open mouth exhale. Let it go. One more time. Inhale strongly through your nose. And open mouth exhale. Inhale, look to the top of your mat. Come onto the toes. Exhale, baby step your feet all the way up. Once you're at the top of your mat, bring your feet hip distance apart. You can reach for your blocks, bring them under your hands on any height, or bend your knees and just reach for the earth. Good. So you can keep your fingertips grounded on the floor or on blocks, or take a ragdoll fold, reach for opposite elbows and just allow the upper body to dangle down. Option to sway from side to side here. Maybe shake out your head, yes and no. Create a little bit more space and softness in the neck and the shoulders. We're here for one more breath in. Full breath out, settle back at center. Release your bind, and then find your blocks if you were not using them. Bring them on the tallest height to frame out your feet. Inhale, lift your shoulders to the height of your hips. Find a halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Slide your right foot all the way to the back of your mat, and then lower your right knee down. You can choose to stay with your hands on the blocks, or start to lift your shoulders over your hips. Okay, make sure we're not sinking the hips forward. We're gonna add a little balance challenge in here. So stack your hips over that back knee, and then we're gonna start by lifting the toes in this front foot. So just grounding through the heel. Notice the wobbling that starts to occur in the body. Pull your belly button in towards your spine and stay controlled from your very center. Place the toes down, and then start to lift your heel. Come onto the ball of that front foot. Find a focal point out in front of you, something that's not moving. If you want to add on to this challenge, maybe try lifting and hovering that foot entirely. Find your seaweed arms. Use the arms to help find your balance. Good. Plant your foot back down. Hands come onto your blocks, framing out your foot. Tuck your back toes and then lift your knee, runner's lunge. Make sure the feet are at least hip distance apart, if not a little bit wider. When you're ready, press away from that front foot. Inhale, sweep your arms up, stack your shoulders over your hips, high crescent lunge. Option to shorten the stance and or micro bend your back knee to kind of absorb these wobbles. Inhale, lift up out of your waist. Exhale, bring your hands down to your blocks. Shorten the stance if you didn't already. Sink your back heel down into the mat. It's okay if it's not touching. And then start to straighten your front leg, pyramid pose. Neither leg has to straighten all the way. Just feel into that sensation in the backs of the legs. Find your edge. And then find your breath there. Think about sending your tailbone back and lengthening your spine and the crown of your head in the opposite direction. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Start to spin your back heel down 90 degrees. So our toes in the right foot point towards the long edge of the mat. Bend back into your front knee. Inhale, this time windmill the arms up and open the torso, warrior two. Arms are reaching out from the heart. Check in with your front knee. Our knee should be pressing out towards the pinky toe side of the foot. Inhale, lift out of your waist. Exhale, soften your shoulders. Good. Start to look to that front foot. Take a breath in. On your exhale, bring your hand onto the block that's outside of your foot. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Good. If your elbow and your knee are connected here, press them both into each other. So the knee presses out, but our elbow presses in, firing up the left outer hip. Strong inhale through your nose. Strong exhale right back out the nose. Your next inhale lifts the upper body back to your warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame out your foot. Set your blocks to the side, plant your hands. Step your left foot back to meet the right. Keep your hips high, downward facing dog. Take one breath in and one breath out, let it go. Notice the difference in the flow of energy from side to side. On your inhale, look forward to your hands. Exhale, bend your knees, take a big step or walk your feet up to the top of your mat. Bring your feet hip distance apart. Bring your blocks back under your shoulders, framing out your feet. Inhale into your halfway lift. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Slide your left leg all the way back. Lower your knee to the earth. Again, you can choose to stay here or start to pull the hips back. Stack your hips over that back knee. Create 90-degree angles in both knees. Start to lift the toes in your right foot. Find your focal point, steady your breath. Lower the toes back down to the mat, and then start to lift your right heel. And if you want to add on, try hovering that front foot entirely, just an inch or two off of the mat. Use the arms out wide. Don't worry about how silly you might look or feel. Building some muscle memory, strengthening the core and the hips. Plant your right foot all the way back. Bring your hands back down to your blocks. Lift your back knee. Good. Feel really strong and stable in your foundation here. Pull your back heel forward. Stay high on the ball of your back foot. On your inhale, release your hands, sweep it up, shoulders stack over your hips, high crescent lunge. And remember, you can always shorten the stance, take a baby step in with that back foot, and or micro bend your back knee. And absorb those wobbles. Inhale, lift up out of your waist. Exhale, hinge forward at your hips. Bring your hands back down to those blocks. Straighten into both legs. Sink your back heel down and back into the mat. Remember, your heel does not have to connect to the earth. That's just the direction that the energy is flowing. Take a deep breath in. Imagine that breath traveling down the back of your right leg. Exhale, can you release a little bit of tension? Good. Inhale here. Exhale, start to spin your back heel down 90 degrees. Point your toes towards the long edge of the mat. Bend into your front knee. When you're ready, use an inhale. Windmill your arms up and open. Warrior two. Allow your arms to settle at the horizon. Check in with your front knee. Press your knee out towards that pinky toe side of the foot. Can you sink a little deeper into your lunge? Stack your front knee over your ankle. Inhale, lengthen the crown of your head up. Exhale, relax your shoulders. Now inhale, look to your front foot. Exhale, hinge the upper body forward. Bring your hand onto your block that's outside of your front foot. Lift your left arm up to the sky. If you'd like a balance challenge, you can lift your gaze up to that top hand. Or if you need more stability, just gaze down at the mat. Press your knee into your elbow. Press your elbow right back into your knee. Fire up that outer hip. Strong breath in through your nose. Strong breath out your nose. Your next inhale lifts the upper body, warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, set your blocks aside. Plant your hands, step your right foot back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in through your nose and sigh it out through your mouth. One more, inhale through your nose and open mouth, exhale. Lower your knees softly down to the mat. Reach for your blocks and stack them on the lowest height, but keep a little bit of space in between the blocks. Then reach for your pillow or your bolster and just drape it over top of your blocks. Bring your knees out wide. Sink your hips down and back onto your heels. You can always add an additional prop underneath the hips if you're feeling a lot of tightness and compression in the knees. From here, start to crawl your arms forward, lower yourself down onto your prop. Bring one cheek down. Supported child's pose. You can have the forearms down on either side of your props for support, or use that space in between the blocks to hug around your bolster or your pillow. Relax the upper body completely. Allow the props to support you. Breathing deeply, noticing the upper back expanding to make space for the breath. And with every exhale, can you melt your chest down towards the earth? And we're about halfway through this pose. So if you'd like, bring the opposite cheek down to your bolster. And allow the neck to balance out from side to side. Maybe closing your eyes and drawing your awareness within. Take one final deep inhale. And full exhale, let it go. Bring your hands back under your shoulders. Press yourself back up to a seat. Now slide your blocks together here. Keep your bolster over top of your blocks. And then come down to a seat. Spin yourself around so that our props are up against our back. And then as you're ready, lower the length of your spine down on your bolster. Allow your head to be supported. Drape your arms down by your sides, backs of the hands, rest on the earth. From here, you can choose your own leg variation. Maybe the soles of your feet stay on the floor. Maybe you bring the soles of your feet together, open your knees for butterfly legs, or maybe just have the legs completely extended. Whichever variation you're moving into, just check in with your low back. If you start to feel any tightness, sharp shooting sensations, then just bend your knees, bring your feet back to the floor. Deepen the breath in your lungs. Notice those little muscles in between your rib cage, gently opening up. Notice if the mind starts to get a little more active now that we're holding this pose in stillness. Anytime you notice yourself getting distracted with your to-do list, noises in the background, just remind yourself of your inhales and your exhales. If you'd like, you can remain in this pose for our short shavasana. If you would like to come out, bring the soles of your feet back down to the floor. Roll yourself gently off the side of your props and just reach back and move them out of the way. Bring yourself all the way back down with your flat back. Find your final resting pose, corpse pose, extending your legs out long, resting your arms down by your side. Let go of your control over your breath and just allow it to flow in and out on its own. Relax your forehead. Unfurrow your brow. Relax your tongue and unclench the jaw. All the work is done. All that's left to do is simply surrender our weight to the mat. Shavasana. Slowly start to deepen your breathing, bringing your awareness back into your physical body. Start to invite small movements into your fingers and your toes. Reach your arms up overhead, point through your toes, full body stretch. And as you exhale, roll yourself over onto your side. Hug your knees into your chest. Use your bottom arm like a pillow for your head. Pause here for a moment in this fetal position. Thank yourself for showing up on your mat today, carving out this time just for yourself. And when you're ready, gently press yourself back up to a comfortable seat, keeping your eyes closed, your eyelids heavy just a little longer. Stay in the meditation. Unite your palms together at heart center. And we'll close out this practice with one last breath together. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Sigh it out, let it go. Bring your thumbs to your third eye center, that space between your eyebrows. And together we bow. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you all so much for practicing with me. Comment below if you have any questions or feedback, and make sure to like and follow.